Wait, how much cake am I making? Wait, I haven't checked how much cake this makes. No, hang on. Oh, bollocks. Okay, I might need to... Alright, hang on. I'm gonna cut it. No, this is... Okay, wait. No, I just need to... What the hell is this supposed to work? What the... Is this supposed to just turn? Do I just turn this? I don't... Whisk is just... Who invented this? Oh, hang on. I think I've broken the whisk. Okay, I think that's roughly right-ish. Oh god, this recipe is assuming prior knowledge I don't have. It's the thing where you do the thing. That's what I'm about to do. I'm about to do the thing. Slowly add the beaten eggs, adding the flour as you... You didn't mention flour until now! Flour! Blimey. How much flour? I don't know. That's probably... Shit! That was too much flour. That was too much flour. Okay, it's fine. It's all going to be fine. This is going to be a delicious... Get the fork out! Oh, the whisk doesn't sound healthy. Bollocks have broken the whisk. Okay, new action angle to reveal that the whisk is not doing well. The whisk is not healthy. Okay, the sludge is not... This is not the right consistency. I didn't think it would look like this. I thought it would look better. Instructions say 1 TSP of vanilla extract. TSP could stand for tablespoon or teaspoon. That is the least useful instruction imaginable. Was that too much? Hope not. Alright, more stirring. This is the pro technique. This is how the pros do it. Add the buttermilk. What the hell is buttermilk? Hang on. To make buttermilk, you need 1 scant cup of milk. What the hell is a scant cup of milk? How big a cup? Cups come in multiple sizes. Claire, help me. 2 tablespoons of buttermilk.
Yes.
Which is, ironically, just milk with lemon. So I would have thought lemon milk. But okay. 1 and 2. So we've moved to the backup whisk. Now. So, yes. I've promised to buy Claire a new whisk. I'm not.
You're going to tap it.
What?
Tap it.
What? What?
Or you're going to give it to me.
I'm going to give it to Claire. 3, okay. Yeah, fuck you, butter. I need to get myself one of these in Fallout. Begin the sugaring.
It's already begun.
Continue the sugaring. Red and blue. That was so far apart. I'm going to have to cut those 2 things together, you know. Red, blue. Okay, it's going kind of like minced up people colour. Claire's bringing out the good food colour. We have good food colour? Have you been holding out on me? Did you just give me the shit food colouring because you didn't think I could be trusted with the good stuff? That's having an impact. It's gone grey. The expression we're going to use about the cake is it's well done cake. It's well... That extra 5 minutes in the oven where we forgot about it makes it well done. Claire's given me this thing, which I'm told is a tool that's good at this thing. Yep, beautiful. Beautiful and smooth.
Let me know when you want me to fix it.
Shut up. Many a true Claire somehow cheated. Okay, so observation 1, the M is taking up over half the cake. And observation 2, it doesn't even look that much like an M. This took just over 3 hours, which means it took about the same amount of time it would take to make a Fallout 3 video. So, hope you like this as much as a Fallout 3. No, I was going to like this as much as a Fallout 3 video. Oh god. And I found a dessert I'm going to be trying to make. Apparently an incredibly complex dessert. Baked Alaska. Claire?
You're on your own for this one.
I'm going to make everything from scratch. So I'm going to need to try and speed this up a little bit by skipping certain largely unnecessary steps, like measuring volumes. Okay, next it calls for a vanilla pod, but I don't know what that is and I don't have one. So now that just gets put to one side to just be over there, I guess. Now I don't know if this is right, but this seems like a good way. So just, yeah, there we go. There we go. This is, yeah. I have bought a new whisk, specially, that's going to get its debut today. And I'm going to be honest, it looked slightly larger when I actually ordered it. Just like they do on MasterChef, okay? Melt this chocolate by putting it in a bowl above a pan of simmering water to melt, which is bloody ridiculous. I swear, it's like they don't want people to cook or something. Chocolate, ow! Okay, right, sorry, I forgot that was hot, it just came out of the microwave. It also says fold in the flour, but I don't know what that means. It's going to be fine. Fine, just put the rest of it, it's fine. It's fine. Claire! Help me! For 20 to 25 minutes, or some amount of time close to that. 100-ish grams of sugar. There's probably about 400, there's about a quarter of what's left. It's a bit more. Yeah, there we go. That's probably ish. Let me just check I was definitely supposed to use yolks. See, that's totally boiling over there. So now, some of this just goes in here, for some reason, I don't even bloody know. So I'm not 100% on this. And the next time you go to an ice cream parlour, say thank you to the bloke, because this is a bloody pain. This is how you make ice cream? It's a bloody... How does this even smell? Right. I'm going to be honest, it doesn't smell great. I'm not getting vanilla so much as, like, egg. Like, scrambled egg, actually. It kind of smells more like scrambled egg than vanilla ice cream. Right, I've got a problem. I'm supposed to leave this in the fridge overnight, then put it into my ice cream maker in the morning. But I've got a few problems. The first of which is I need to do this today. The second of which is I don't have an ice cream maker. So, you know, problems. Right, I've had a think. I've got a solution. Ta-da! There we go. I've gone out and I've bought some ice cream. I'm going to make everything from scratch. I've bought some ice cream from scratch. I've bought some ice cream. Probably should have read the instructions before I began, actually, shouldn't I? This, I feel, is safer than the slightly suspect scrambled egg mixture. So now we can just open the... Wait, hang on, what? Problem, because how do I get this bit off? Oh, that's a crack. That's a crack. That's a crack. And that's going to be okay. Claire can't help me with this bit. Claire's doing something with her hair. No. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So this time I need 3 egg whites, which I could have saved from earlier when I got the egg yolk. Oh well, never mind. I feel like I'm just stirring yellow water here, but alright, I'll go for it. Like that, it kind of... Is that a soft peak? I've got to keep going until they form hard peaks, because we did so well with the soft peaks. There's a bit more, sure, why not? That's probably fine. Right, I've been doing this for a few minutes now, and I'm going to be honest, it doesn't seem to be making much progress. And it's definitely not forming anything related to a stiff peak. It's not even moving in the direction of a stiff peak. And it's not even really a soft peak yet, which is kind of unfortunate. Satiny. As in like the material satin. What does material satin even look like? Claire, do you have anything that's made out of satin? I've got the mixture here, and I've got this handkerchief, which is made of satin. I'm gonna be honest, they don't look desperately similar yet. This is satin, and that's a yellow liquid. So... this is apparently what a soft peak looks like. I'm running out of implements, by the way, which is why I'm now using a bread knife for spreading ice cream. I've broken a bit of the side of the cake, but that's fine. I can patch that with meringue. Because this thing is about to go in the oven again, despite the fact, as you probably noticed, it has ice cream in it. Which strikes me as a terrible idea. But to be honest, I probably shouldn't worry too much about the artistry. Okay, so that's it. That is the Baked Alaska in its pre-cooked format, which sounds like madness, and it is madness, but let's just do that anyway, shall we? I don't see any huge, ridiculous signs of leakage. It hasn't collapsed. It has not. That bit has. Ta-da! I've created actually not a bad Baked Alaska. Claire! Claire, I actually did a good thing! Well, the proof, as they say, is in the pudding, or the pudding is in the eating, or the... I forget how that idiom goes. This video is not sponsored by Marks & Spencer's. It should be. Marks & Spencer should really be giving me money for this, but no. I just like Marks & Spencer's. This year, we've decided to step it up a notch. Instead, we are going to be making a complete, full, 3-course meal. We're going to be making French onion soup. And I'm supposed to cut this into thin strips, which I'm going to be honest, I'm immediately slightly lost. Like if it had just been diced, that would have been fine. But how do you cut a spherical thing into thin strips? You see, I'm trying to follow the instructions as closely as I can, and it does clearly say thin strips. But when you've sliced an onion, it's got like rings on it. So are you saying, like, should I just be doing this? Is that a thin strip if I just take that bit off? Like this, but then I just end up accidentally dicing it. And it doesn't say diced, it says sliced. Screw it all, I'm just going to dice it more. If I can't make them slices, I can at least make them thin. That was possibly too high a temperature. Hang on. If, like, more than 80% of your onions actually made it into the pan, you're doing great. So, what? Oh, This is now simmering a bit, or something. So I'm going to make Yorkshire pudding toad in the hole, because someone actually made a recipe for that. And it sounds delicious, because I love Yorkshire puddings, and I love sausage and toad in the hole. So we could actually kind of blend the two together. And I've got a recipe for that, and I'm going to share it with you right now. You see, this is a proper cooking show, right? I just kicked the tripod. Other than that, this is a proper cooking show. Pinch. Hang on, let's just get a pinch of the... That's too much. Hopefully not a problem. Next, I've got to make like... Okay, let's just get that to... So I just undo all the good of sieving it by doing that. This is 2 whole eggs. I just checked with Claire. That does mean both the white and the yolk, not like whole as in like whole milk. There's not like full fat versus skimmed eggs, which was what I was originally thinking. Apparently that doesn't exist. I've actually got a proper sized whisk this year, so now I just need to whisk. That just means rotate while holding a whisk. That's what whisking means. That's about 52.8% right there. And we're satisfied it's all right properly into each other and stuff. Let's get a thing. That's a flipping stirry thing. Spatula, that's the one. Flour needs to be... Oh. Maybe I should have added more water. Okay, never mind. It's all going to be fine. In order to make stock most easily, you're going to need one of these. Americans, this might be new to you. It's called a kettle. I've been to America many times and there seem to be very, very few of them around. They make hot water. They're really, really useful. You should try them. And now just give that a bit of a stab, I guess. I've gone for this wine. This is wine, because you can see, if you look through it, you can kind of see through it. So this is white wine, which is what the recipe calls for. It's got a pheasant on the front. Like pheasants, it's probably good. Hang on, let's see if it's good. Yeah, it's alright. Yeah, it's probably too much. Alright, it's slightly more alcoholic. It also calls for pepper. I forgot to buy that, so we don't have pepper. Claire's French, so in place of black pepper, I'm just going to add in garlic. So there's going to be a healthy big chunk of slicey bread. Fancy. Now these need to be toasted so they don't break apart when they actually go into like the soup. So to do that, I'm going to use a toaster. Not exactly the most original thing in the world, but it should work. Soup go onto... I made nowhere near enough soup. There's this cheese here. This cheese, which is good... It's cheese, alright? That kind of word feels like I've said it before, or at least heard it said on MasterChef before. maybe this is Gruyere. If this is Gruyere, this is Gruyere. It's fine. This is all going to be fine. I've run into a slight problem, which is the recipe calls for this to now be put under the grill so the cheese gets bubbly and like brown. But the oven is preheating. I've come up with a genius alternative solution. A hairdryer. So what we're going to do is we're going to melt the cheese with the hairdryer.
What? 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 Oh, wait, where are we going?
We're doing a cooking show now.
We're doing a what now?
A cheese that may or may not be Gruyere. Gruyere?
Yes, that's what it said on the package.
Yes, well, it said a combination of letters. I didn't know.
It's actually really good.
Is it?
Yeah.
You sure? I did prepare this with a hairdryer. Okay, so I'd say a pretty damn successful starter there. Just shove those in there and just fry them for a bit. I don't know exactly how long. Except, of course, Claire is French. So I'm going to add some garlic. There's probably like a more sophisticated way than what I'm planning to do, but you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to like get a block of butter in my hand. I'm just going to rub it round here until there's butter like everywhere. And it's going to be butter central. You could say it's going to be butterly covered. After all, I do say it's butter safe than sorry. Now for all of you going down to the comments to complain about the puns, why don't you just all butter out? Okay, that there is a buttload of butter here in this tray. Sorted. I'm going to cut all of these sausages in half. So there's 12. It's all absolutely a-okay. Have the first casualty to go into on this occasion, which is this is Claire's pan, like her really, really nice one. And what we've just done to it is we've put, if we can just focus on those, we've put some massive gashes. It's quite impressive, actually.
I mean, like, this pan is like a month old or something.
Yeah, this is not only Claire's best thing, this is actually also brand new. Tell you what, slap a hipster filter on this, we're ready to take over for Instagram. And that, I would say, looks pretty damn fine. Happy with these?
Yeah, I mean, you know, they normally kind of go with gravy, but you know.
Get out. Like, people mock me for these videos. Massive gashes. We're gonna melt the cheese. Mock me for these videos. With the hairdryer. Like, people mock me for these videos. There's not, like, full fat versus skimmed eggs, which was what I was originally thinking. I've got this, and I didn't really bother to check, which I should have done in the shop. So this is not part of the recipe. I'm just improvising here. So that's, oh bloody hell, how much is 50 grams? That is probably fine. There was nothing in the shop that said soft brown sugar. So I feel like this is kind of like, it felt fairly soft and sort of brownish. So like light brown, well, wait, what if light is in like light as opposed to heavy rather than light as opposed to... Never mind. So, I know that may just look a bit like a pile of basically chocolate and peanut butter and Nutella and sugar, but actually I have no way to end that sentence. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what it is. There we are, this time I'm not causing a gas leak. Let's start heating it and see what happens. Burnt, I've slightly burnt it while I was kind of turned my back. It smells really damn good though, aside from the smoke. Hopefully I'm not going to set the fire off. The other thing, this could be quite nice, assuming I don't mess it up. I'm kind of hoping the heat's not already too high and we're not going to end up with like scrambled eggs in this thing. Slightly! Right, let's get some flour in here too. Oh! So now I'm just supposed to like drizzle this like as gently as... I imagine it's not going to supposed to look like this, but elegant swishy lines or whatever. Now we just do a little bit more drizzling. You see, this is drizzling much more nicely. Aside from that bit right there, this has actually got a proper drizzle to it, assuming the towel doesn't fall over. Don't fall over. I'm going to make it more American during editing.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like brownies.
Let's see if a couple of things went wrong. I think I think everyone and also our neighbours smelt the burning sugar.
Yes.
So
possibly.
the consistency may have gone a bit wrong.
You can taste a slight burn, but
okay,
you know.
Burn the Nutella? Does that come through at all?
Not really.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, as we look upon the devastation that I have wrought upon the kitchen, been 4 years, me and the channel. That's a long-term relationship by any definition. A very, very long-term relationship. It's time for me and the channel to get married. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be walking you through the construction of a truly, truly glorious wedding cake. For now, we just need to make some basic, like, cake stuff. So the way you make basic cake stuff is you take, like, some of, like, this stuff that's, like, in the background and you mix it together to form a cake. Unfortunately, the cake recipe was from, I can only assume, the 19th century because all the measurements are in cups. That's right, we need to be exactly dividing up our recipe into 236th. Because screw the metric system, I guess. Was that 5 or 6? Because I can't remember and I didn't keep. Okay, you know what? That's fine. I could reasonably estimate how much it ought to be. Again, it asks if I just okay, the bowl's full, and that's the first. Okay, this is going to be. There's quite a lot of cake. I didn't think this through. Like, people sometimes accuse me when I'm doing the cooking videos of deliberately kind of messing up. No, this just happens on its own. No, 3.5 tablespoons. I'm really glad I double checked that because I was about to put in 3.5 cups of baking powder. That would have been bad. I think I was supposed to sift. Ooh, okay, hang on. I think I'm supposed to. I can't. I've only got so many hands, so they're like all togethery. You see. Probably fine. That's okay. Because it's a valuable piece of equipment, therefore we're bringing Claire in to assist with that.
We could just Google it. Just Google how many grams
No,
of butter is in a cup.
we're sticking by the bullshit imperial measurement. Shove the butter in the cup.
There's going to be space in between the butter chunks, John.
Well, then maybe we shouldn't have got a recipe with a cup metric. For 3.5 of these cups, hang on, let's just get that. Okay, fine, you're probably about right. That's amazing!
25, 50, 100, and then 110
If you need to
grams.
divide the butter, you just fold the packaging onto the butter and that's amazing! That's such a good idea! Can you start the fans, please? 8 hectares of sugar. God damn it, Claire! It's like we've tossed like little baby chicks in there. It looks like little baby chicks being minced up. It's like the Chicken McNugget factory. Okay, we're going to use Canadian measurements. We need 3.2 bags of milk.
White and kind of solid.
Just so you know, I've already replaced this with a little black screen saying edited out for boring. Okay, Claire's gone, possibly permanently because of completely irresolvable disagreements on the nature of egg science. Now, I was just actually grating oranges for quite a long time and it was very boring and very slow going. This is apparently for grating Parmesan. And I've just been trying to use it to grate an orange, which I think kind of like might work, but just like not necessarily that well. And the rest I'm going to do by cheating, because I've got some, or by which I mean Claire's got, and she didn't specifically tell me I couldn't use, her Valencian orange extract. It smells very orangey, which is good. In fact, I'd probably be worried if it didn't. There's another slight quirk to the recipe I'm using. I think I've picked a really stupid recipe. I'm going to do half a cup, which is 118 millilitres for obvious reasons. So while I don't have a bowl big enough, what I do have is this lovely big plastic jug. We're gonna need a backup jug. Okay? We are Hermione Grangering up in this, okay? We follow the recipe. You're right, actually, this is boring. Can we make it go faster? Yeah! It's gone a bit overboard. So I can't take half of this and put it into here, because I can't do that because it won't fit. But I said the important thing was not to let it like collapse or something. It's like a flan, I don't know. I'm gonna need more bowls. Now Claire told me not to do this, but I think she was just misreading the recipe. What is that? Oh, that was supposed to be all the batter! Oh. And while that's happening, I will also attempt to undo some of the catastrophic damage and mess I've created in Claire's kitchen. So you just get a knife and you just pretend it's like done something horrible to your family and you just go There you go, and you pull the knife off. The knife's clean, that means the cake's done. What I've gone and bought is sugar florist paste, an ultra-fine flour modelling paste for professional sugar crafters. Now, I am not actually a professional sugar crafter. In fact, I'm not actually an amateur sugar crafter. In fact, I wouldn't have actually said that sugar crafter was a word before today. This is like sugar crafting. Carefully press the remaining rose petals around the central petal to form a rose shape. Well, that's not helpful.
That does not help. You can't just say form a rose shape in your instructions as how to make a rose. You may as well just like create an instruction manual for how to make a car with just put the pieces together till it's car shaped. That looks at least like a little bit like a rose. I feel like there should be a thing, but it didn't come with a thing. Apparently, like, it's assuming I own one of those. I feel like maybe I should have needed this in ahead of time. It's just white covered with sticky pink stuff now. In fact, I think in many ways it now looks less like a rose. It looks more like, if you were to imagine you cut the heart out of the Snow Queen, I feel like this is what it would look like. And it's better as that than it is as a rose right now. Claire asked me how I greased the baking trays before I put them in, and it didn't. So, this is not going well. Okay. That just started going worse. Yeah, no, yes, balls, need to, okay. Get that off, back, yes. Job done. Textbook. We didn't even, okay, we left a little bit behind. That's just, free cake. Free cake. Good cake. We're gonna use this thing to like smoothly paint chocolate onto the chocolate cake, thus producing a chocolate orange cake. So that's the base. Now you may be asking, how are we planning to build a wedding cake? Well, that's easy. There's actually specialist equipment for this. This is called a wedding dowel. I'm not sure how well this is going to work, but what we're going to do is we're going to give it a go. Okay, no, 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 no. No, 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 yeah, no. No. This is the least staple thing. These things are actually beyond useless. How on earth are you supposed to... Okay, that is not going to fly even remotely. So what I've gone and done is I've found something I think is going to work much better, which is I've gone to my DVD collection and picked out a couple of really good solid movies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these as a basis, because these are going to be much more sturdy. So we're just going to pop those, just pop that into the cake. Yeah, you see. Just balance it, just balance it, just balance it. If we had like a cross where each one was like mutually supporting, so just get them in there. Right, yeah, a cross should have more stability. Then we'll just put these two in. There we go. So those are going to be in there. Right. So these four should now be pretty well supportive. The next tier is going to be the. Oh, this one's going to be more interesting. Let's just shift the camera. Actually, no, hang on. I've got the thing. Ooh, yeah, you see, I've got a proper tripod now. Much better. Just lay that on top and let it sink. Let it sink onto the dowels. That's oh. Okay. No. It was working. It's looking so damn vulnerable, but we're so close. My fingers are delicious. We've got one level to go. Then we've just got to stick this final thing. It works! It works! Yes! 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 Nenny, a true nerd. I love you. Will you marry me? It's beautiful! I'm watching it so closely because I'm just like that third layer here. That is looking so vulnerable. Okay. That could have gone better, or it could have gone worse. That, ladies and gentlemen, is our 4th anniversary special. I have made cakes, full 3-course meals, and there was... What was the other one? I've forgotten the other one. This year, I am going to turn food into art. And the particular art we're going for is this little wonderful bundle of fluff. This is Tabby. She's our cat. And don't worry, I'm not planning to bake her. What I'm planning to do is I'm going to make a cake
that looks just like Tabby. I am going to make food art. The recipe basically just says, rather than like, oh, mix the flour with the butter and then beat until it feels like velvet or whatever. No, this recipe just says get all this stuff at the back and just basically shove it all in a bowl and then beat it together. I couldn't find scissors, but I stabbed it with a fork, and that's good enough. So what's actually just happened here is if we just turn over in this direction, I may have just slightly got the... Okay, this is a good start. And get relatively little sugar onto the ground. Now there's also some flour, I think there was a hair in there as well. And the sugar, it slightly went on the floor. So it's now painful to walk on the floor. Wait, how much butter is this? Hang on, it's 250 grams of butter. How much? A fifth of... Oh, hang on. Wait, I know how to do this because I learnt it. This butter doesn't do the thing. This butter doesn't... Well, how am I supposed to know how much butter there is when it doesn't do the... Claire! It's really unspecific about whether I need eggs, yolks, or both. Hang on, I'm just going to Google that. So I'm going to assume that this is a good thing. Now, the thing I'm becoming a little bit concerned about here as I look at this kind of, thing, I'm not sure whether I've necessarily got a big enough bowl. Right, my scale's broken. That should be about the right level of flour. Bit more. Okay, I'm going to make them heaped, because heaped tablespoons will increase chocolatiness. I've just accidentally I've got some cocoa in the milk now, so Claire will be thrilled, because now what I've done is I've given us all chocolate milk. That right there, cake. I just need to beat all that together. I don't know what this thing is, but it broadly looks like it will kind of do the job. I probably should have done this in like stages as we went along. So, oh, the bowl is not big enough. It's just a giant clump of... Oh, that's the butter! I'm going to use the fudge. The butter and the sugar have formed a bit of a gloop at the bottom, I'm going to be honest. That's until it's pale. Which makes me think I may have made a mistake with the volume of cocoa. Because this is not going to go pale anytime soon. Nice and flipping simple aside from the various problems. It's time to construct ourselves a cat. And that's going to be Tabby's body. This little oven dish here, that is going to handle stuff like the legs. We're going to just cut the legs out of whatever gets made there. Yeah, I don't know what that is. It's like a Yorkshire pudding tray. That was from me, I think, trying to get something out with a knife last time. So this thing's still wounded from the last time I used it. This is called grease-proof paper. I can use this to make sure that the cake, once it's made, actually comes out, and also I don't destroy this oven dish. So I must not destroy. I'm starting to be worried I may not have made quite enough mix. I mean, it felt like quite a lot. It'll probably do. It'll probably be fine. I'm not just going to do something stupid, like putting chocolate in the microwave. No. Grease, paper, buttering of the things. It's fine, don't worry. I'm just making a mess over here. There we go. And it even creates a nice dramatic smoky effect too. The most dramatic of all ingredients. If I agitate it, whatever that means exactly. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some of this icing sugar and I'm just going to throw it in the bin. I'm not sure what this is really supposed to be looking like right now, to be honest. It's kind of crumbly. I'm just going to add an extra, because I feel like I need liquid in here, because this isn't working. Oh, you're going to like this. Here, try the buttercream.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know, it's pretty good. Try some of that. How good is that?
That's pretty good butter.
No, you can only have... You can't have... No! Claire, no! Claire, no! No, stop it, Claire! Claire, no! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, it just comes out. It just... Okay, grease paper or whatever it's called, that is the best invention in human history. That's okay. This is, in 5 years of making these, this is the greatest innovation yet. That is a nice even bake, no soggy bottoms. Oh, it's really good. So, Claire's shown up and revealed to me that apparently we have, like, special specific cupcake liners. This stuff's amazing! This is this year's butter packaging, alright? Butter packaging, that let me down, that didn't have the things on it, but this is incredible. I'm never baking without this again. Like, maybe I'll just stop doing anything without this again. Maybe, like, from now on I will shower. I will shower with the grease-proof paper, because I'm sure it has utility there as well somehow. We've got ourselves the beginnings of a cat here. Now, you're probably thinking, John, that's never going to work. Oh,
Oh, ye of little faith, I have a plan. Some of them are slightly odd shapes. But yeah, they're slightly... Oh, that bit just came off. That one already even looks like a cat snout. I'm also going to freely admit, yeah, this is much easier. Now, you're probably looking at like all of this and thinking, this does not look much like a cat. That is just catastrophic failure of imagination on your part. This can be a cat. So, we got the basics of Tabby there. Say hello to a returning feature to the kitchen from last year, the wedding cake doll. It's a bit wide for a cat. It's more of a turtle. If I'm right, we should now be able to pretty much insert the dowel into the cake. And now, you see, if we put that about there and then... Okay, this hasn't gone spectacular. Okay, this is fine. Back. Or this could be like a... You see, there's actually a problem with... there's a real problem with stability in this whole cake. Okay, I'm going to flip the cat, and we're just going to sacrifice this bit here. I think I've cut off way too much cat at this point. It's a cat that has died by 1,000 cuts. Okay, I'm gonna shave a bit off the side of the cat in order to just slim down the cat a little bit. This is going to be fine. Okay, wait. Okay, it hasn't actively fallen over yet. Okay, if I was to attach like a cat's head about here-ish, I bought a special brush because I thought that this was going to be a really neat process of me, like, getting some nice stuff and just going, oh, it's going to be perfect and smooth and not like a cat. No, this turns out this was more ambitious than my usual bakes. Through here, right down to the bottom. I'll put extra weight on. I'll put too much extra weight on. The leg's ruptured. The leg has... Oh no, Tabby. Tabby. Oh. Okay, so this is... Oh no, the cake also doesn't take the weight. Okay, plan B. Okay, so this is sort of a cat's head. Shut up, it is. Stop laughing. Sort of seems to work as adhesive. A little bit. There we go. Look at that. The other eye. And I had plans. I had plans for the nose. This one even sort of still works. It's a Percy pig. What I want to do now is add on. Hang on. Just need to add on 1 and 2. There we go. So the plan was the ears were going to be... I was going to paint Doritos with buttercream. Which, now I say it out loud, I agree, that was a stupid plan all along. And just one little more of them. Okay, even by my standards, this is appalling. I went into this expecting better than this. I'm genuinely disappointed in myself. Right, let's get some buttercream on here. Okay, I was wrong. That's made it worse. What I was going to do was I was just therefore going to basically drizzle little lines of chocolate because Tabby is tabby coloured. You see, now this bit actually looks quite, well, it kind of works. It's more like a pig. An evil pig. This is the worst one. How have we gone backwards? This is worse than what we achieved in the first year of doing this. Okay, now Claire, before you open your eyes, I want to explain a few things. There's been a small element of mission creep. We had to slightly replan on the fly due to some slight technical issues that I couldn't possibly have foreseen and weren't my fault. So it's a little different from the original brief. Open your eyes.
Oh, bless you, you tried.
I'm gonna be honest, it's not my best work. Do you want to try a bit of Tabby?
Did you put a Dorito in that like you...
No, there's no Doritos in there. That plan got... This is just a bunch of buttercream with some chocolate drizzled over the top of some cake. So basically, in conclusion, we've actually realised that I've actually created something amazing here.
Okay, but in your defence...
Yes.
Tabby is the most beautiful cat in the world, and so it would have been, it was a tall order to reproduce how beautiful she is.
Yes, this is true.
I think it might be better than the wedding cake.
Yes! Not the worst! Not the worst! Not the worst! I'm gonna make it up to Claire a little bit by making her favourite dessert in the world, and also hopefully, like, you know, not breaking anything while I'm doing it, which is the macaron. And hang on, macaron. Is a macaron and a macaroon the same thing? No, I was right first time. A macaroon's like a little coconut thing or something. It's macarons I want, the little kind of pastry sandwich things. This is not going to go well, by the way. It's got a pat, a ganache, and a meringue. Now, I know what a meringue is, I don't know what the other two are. And we're gonna dump that there, and that's gonna melt in like a nice, sensible chef fashion. I mean, I'll give them, that is melting. It would have melted in the microwave too, but it is melting. So therefore, in chef speak, what I need is most of them. I mean, I'm not 100% convinced I'd use the word paste here. Kind of like some form of slurry, maybe slop. Slop would be a good word for this. Now, technically, I'm not supposed to use this without an adult present. But Claire did decide to go outside while I was doing this. So really, this is her fault. Except for one small problem. She's removed the actual blade, the spinny bit that actually mixes the meringue, and I don't know where it is. Right, clever Claire, bloody clever. I'm just gonna skip step 5 or 6, whatever that was, and move on to 6 or 7, whatever came after it. I need to, like, melt or cook or boil or something, some sugar. Ish? Hang on, that's about right. That's about the right amount of sugar. A tablespoon measurer, so I know how much a tablespoon's supposed to be, because apparently I can't be trusted with a normal spoon, until it reaches the soft ball stage, which I've looked up. That is apparently precisely 117 degrees C or 242 degrees Fahrenheit if you prefer using a system of temperature measurement that makes no sense whatsoever. Claire warned me, actually melting sugar's kind of dangerous and goes horribly wrong and you can burn yourself terribly. So I decided to go and get myself an actual little thermometer thing here. Change number 2. I found where Claire keeps the things, so actually we can start mixing after all. Spot on. Ah yeah, this thing's a sexy beast. So basically, we're just going to fry the hell out of this here sugar in order to get it to turn into, I don't know, liquid sugar, I'm supposing. I have no idea how long this is supposed to take, by the way. Now, the problem is this thermometer's not the most precise thing in the world, so I can't be 100% sure where, like, 117 is. Broadly, like, the tick before that, hang on, there's 5 ticks, so that's 5 it goes, that's 120. Right, okay, so just before, like, the tick before the tick in the middle. So yeah, about like halfway to the next, that should be 100, oh, it's supposed to be 117. Right there, that is about 117, that's fine. Over here, meanwhile, sexy stuff has been happening to the eggs. The eggs are now most definitely nice and fluffy. At this point, I'm going to say, don't do this at home, ladies and gentlemen. Leave this to the professionals, or if professionals aren't available, me. Right, the technical name for that was apparently sugar syrup. I just actually looked that up. Until a spoonful of the combined mixture sits like a ribbon on top of itself, if encouraged to do so. No less and no more. So, I've no idea what that really looks like. We'll figure it out as we go. Something may have gone wrong here. I'm gonna say that's good enough, because even if it's not, it's what we've got, so it's what we have to work with. So to pipe this, I need to actually create like a bit at the end. There we go. So now I've got myself piping. It just occurred to me, I should have probably put this into the bag before cutting the hole at the bottom, but we are where we are. No, I've no idea how this is supposed to be done, but we're just shoveling it in, and it's sort of working. We've got ourselves grease-proof paper, which claims, according to the box, it's going to make baking easy. So this grease-proof paper is made of lies, and I'm gonna pipe my disgusting, broken, doesn't work mess onto it. This thing, by the way, is now absolutely disgusting to touch, but here we go. Okay, so more, like, there we go, bit of that. So we're just gonna have some of this, and why is it coming out of the, okay, it's coming out of the other end. Okay, hang on. I need to. Oh bloody hell! I need to. Ow! I don't know what went wrong with this one, but something went wrong with this. I think there's a tab further up in it. This is disgusting. You're supposed to, like, pipette things. Is pipette the right word? No, that's a thing in chemistry. Okay, it's just coming out of the back again. This is the point where it really starts to go wrong, I think. We were supposed to have enough mixture for 30. What we've actually got is, that's 18. But each of these is only a half. So actually, that's actually just, yeah, that's 9. You know, this year I was really genuinely thinking, after the tabby cake last year, I'll just follow the recipe and I'll make something nice. But no, I think we might actually be looking at something even worse than the tabby cake, and that's quite frankly impressive. It's gonna have to do. And I'm not sure it's gonna fit, but it might come sort of close. I am going to be abundantly honest here. I am not seeing a distinctive collarette. Don't know what a distinctive collarette looks like, but the recipe specifically says distinctive collarette, implying that, you know, I'd recognise it on sight. Right, well, screw it. It's too late for second thoughts now. I'm just going to bung these in the oven for 8 minutes, and we're going to see what happens as a result. It's not great, but it's not as bad as I feared it might be. I think that's roughly what they're supposed to look like. Before we make the ganache, whatever that is precisely, and then create, like, the sandwich cookie thing that is a macaron. One died, by the way. One just kind of disintegrated when I was trying to take it off the paper. I might actually have one good macaron in here. At least one. So what we need to do is just make this hot using fire. So, hot cream, chocolate. Alright, this can't go wrong. This is basically just delicious already. And put it into a piping bag. To which I respond, no, I refuse. If you want me to get a spoonful on, I've got a spoon right here. I've also just remembered, I made enough ganache for 30 macarons. And at this point, I'm down to about 6. 7 in the end, as it turns out. Just 7. So, we're lacking a little bit there. We are, yeah, about a quarter. Slightly under a quarter, in fact, of what the recipe said I was going to be able to make. I've got Claire with me. I've brought Claire with me. And now I shall reveal the fact that Claire, the reason why we did all this, the sugar work and the macarons and everything, is because to make up for the fact that I've trashed everything in the kitchen every previous year, 1, I haven't trashed anything this year as far as I'm aware, but we may discover some stuff down the line. As far as I'm aware, I haven't trashed anything. And 2, I want to make your favourite dessert, macaron.
My favourite dessert's lemon tart, John.
Are you 100% sure about that?
I'm quite sure about that.
Okay, so I didn't make lemon tart, I made macaron. That's possibly someone else's favourite dessert, I'm not sure. Well, okay, well have a macaron anyway.
This is actually alright, I mean...
Hey!
Like, it doesn't really taste like a macaron, but it does taste good.
Well, I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure, I can't remember whether I've even had macarons. I think I have in the past, but I can't remember what they're supposed to taste. They're not great, are they? They're not a disaster. I think they've turned out better than the tabby cake in the end. Well, not sure about this one. Right, okay. Well, okay, I've got a secondary offer for you.
Okay.
So, there is about 2/3 of a pan full of ganache left over, if you just like to have that in a spoon instead.
Ooh, yes please.
Right, okay, good. We've managed to do something good for Claire. Yay! So this is a bit of like a patisserie challenge today, which is marvellous. So it's like the Great British Bake Off, except it's not British, and it's definitely not going to be great, and there is a bit of a question mark over that whole, you know, baking thing. So basically, welcome to the off. To start by setting some expectations, I've never actually done like baking before, like bakery baking before. Like we've made a whole lot of cakes in the past, that's fine. Loads of cakes. Bread, never made bread. The sort of idiots who couldn't even fight off the sea people and avoid the Bronze Age collapse, those idiots made bread in very large quantities. So I was working under the assumption it couldn't be that difficult. Now, problem number 1 you can see at the back here, which is you need flour to make bread, but bloody hell do they make that confusing. There's like so many different kinds of flour, but I did find one kind of flour that said bread flour on the front. So I'm going to be using that, and that's probably going to be absolutely fine. The first 4 words of the recipe, I was fine for the first 3. The first 3 words are to make thee. All of them familiar with. The 4th word is poolish. It says to make the poolish. And I was assuming they just misspelt polish or Polish. Then I realised neither of those words would make sense in that sentence, at least in the context of trying to make bread. So, okay, we made it 4 words in till I've no idea what I'm doing. We forgot to put batteries in the scale again. This wasn't planned. People sometimes ask me if I script this. No, we're just inept. So I need to eyeball 13% of a pack of flour. It's cancelled. The whole thing's cancelled. Go home. Water as comes out of the tap isn't room temperature. The cold tap's going to be too cold, and the hot tap's going to be too, hot. Oh shit! I was supposed to add the yeast before I added the water. That's fine. I got yeast here. Ooh, it's tiny. It's like a tiny thing. I don't know what this is. It's really tiny things that Are those yeast? What's the plural of yeast? I don't know, I thought yeast was smaller than that, but maybe those are yeast. I'm conceptually aware that yeast are alive, but are all of those hang on. I don't know if those are yeast. Is every single one of those a yeast waiting to wake up? Are yeast tiny worms? I've no clue. They make bread in a few hours, so I was assuming therefore this would take a few hours tops. The recipe now says I'm supposed to chill this thing for 14 hours. Now I don't have 14 hours, but I've been speaking to Claire about this, and she thinks what I'm about to say is a terrible idea, but I think it's a good idea. So, if you chill it, it's gonna take longer, alright? That's gonna be a really stupid, slow process. We don't want to do that. No. However, it's a really warm day in Britain today, so, in theory, if I just don't do it, it'll chill faster. They use something called a proving drawer. Now, I don't have one of those, but as I understand it, it's just like an oven on a low setting. So I'm just going to put it in the oven on a low setting, and that's probably fine. You know, it's moments like this that make me realise it's entirely possible one of these 5 oven settings is actually proving. I've no clue. I don't know where the instruction booklet is. I don't know. Just sort of until the bread's done whatever it's supposed to do. But that's fine, because the heat will help the yeast do yeast things. That ultimate French thing, at least if you're English and don't know much about French culture, but hopefully croissants are a real French thing. Now the problem I've got here, this is getting into a right puzzle, is I've got white flour, but it's plain, not strong. I've got a different type of plain flour. That doesn't say white, but I think it is white, but it's pre-sifted, which is good. I've got self-raising white flour, and I've got strong white bread flour. Now that's not strong in the title, but it does also have bread, which that's not what the recipe calls for. So what we're gonna do is, for safety, we're gonna go half and half, alright? Okay, now logically, if I got my measurement right last time, which I didn't, no, there's a little bit more than that. No, that's 250-ish. So we need a bit, no, not 90%, because it was already, maths? Okay, never mind, if they're sweeter than they should be, that's good. The recipe says that I'm supposed to be adding in 2 sachets of 7 grams of yeast. I don't have sachets. I've got a tub of 100 grams of little baby yeasts. Just gonna put some yeast in this water, because apparently that's what we're supposed to be doing. This seems like a lot of yeast. Is this way too much yeast? Maybe you need tons of yeast to make croissants, I don't know. My favourite bit of this process is when I get to use Claire's big mixing machine, the Chemex, but I don't feel like I'm getting to use that today. The recipes are all saying do it by hand, like a flipping pleb. I was about to be squeamish about touching it, then I realise I'm about to be kneading it, so that's fine. Now, I'm not 100% sure what that, means. When Tabby's kneading, she, goes, like this. Where you grab it, but I looked this up. It says fold it in half and then push, and then fold it in half, and then push it to the. I think they use the word heel. I've never thought of my hand having a heel before, and I'm assuming I'm not supposed to be using my feet. So grab and stretch,
and in half and push. And that's gonna make it's very stringy. I'm just gonna do this for 10 minutes until either it's done or I like get bored. That seems to kind of be working. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be this sticky. This might be the fact I used too much sugar, wrong kind of flour, didn't bother measuring anything. When it's cooking with John, it's a mystery, it's a fun adventure, we all go on together. I didn't actually bother, like, noting what time it was when I started, so it's probably not been 10 minutes, but, like, it looks a bit smoother than when I started. So this is dough. I'm gonna put that down and try and detach that from a... We're just making nice high-class croissants today. This needs to be formed into a ball shape. A big sticky ball. Problem is, it's so sticky, any attempt to, like, make it into a ball is pulled apart when I try and withdraw from the ball. No, come on. I'm almost extricating myself. Okay, now there. Yeah, that's a ball, kind of. I know how to figure out how much butter this is, which is, all you need to do is, like, get into position, then you fold over the... What? That feels like about... Screw it, that's 300 grams of butter, sure, that's enough. And I'm supposed to put the butter between 2 sheets of this parchment, which... I mean, I'm not being an idiot, right? That's what the instructions say. The instructions say, take butter, 300 grams of it, put between 2 parchments of baking paper. Take rolling pin and bash. So now this is actually what I'm supposed to be doing. I may have over-enthusiastically bashed certain parts of it. This feels broadly the size that was requested. Behold, it is now floured. Good little... Are you a poolish? No, that was just for the baguette. The word poolish has never been used. How do you roll something into a rectangle? Now, the butter was supposed to have 2 hours to chill. It hasn't had that. It's had quite a bit less, but it's fine. I turned the fridge up slightly so it would be colder. So I've compensated because I haven't got time to wait 2 hours. Butter and croissant pastry.
Ooh.
It's gonna be a croissant.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, Claire's not completely unimpressed. At this point in the show, The Great British Bake Off, we're supposed to, like, cut to a woman in a tent making a naff joke. Get in the tent, Claire!
I don't want to go in a tent!
Okay, Claire didn't want to go in the tent. Okay, so the next instruction has lost me. It says, fold the dough again so the point where the dough meets becomes the seam. But the point where the dough meets already is the seam. I'm gonna go get a different recipe and double check. Okay, I found another recipe, but that just confused me more because it referred to the process as lamination. We're gonna do that because it's probably a terrible idea. Like, you know, switching recipe halfway through, not the best idea in the world. I admittedly only read this once, so I may have misunderstood what's, like, supposed to be going on here. Some recipes say you're supposed to chill, like, between each of these foldings, but screw that nonsense, I don't have time. Okay, that's fine. A little bit burst, but that's fine. We'll just smooth it out by hand. There we go, lovely. A bit, as I say, I turned the fridge, like, up, or, wait, did I turn it up or down? Oh, I really hope I didn't accidentally make the fridge warmer by mistake. This, in there. That's still in the oven. Proving, I think, is the word for what it's doing. My croissant mix, or not mix, dough, lamination, whatever it is. Now, there's good and bad stuff going on here. I suspect I may have slightly overdone the warming up of the proving process, and Claire has suggested to me there is a very real possibility I have fried all the yeast to death. It seems feasible that with their dying breaths, they might have actually helped to bread the breads. As I say, it might be dead. There are bubbles. That's a good sign as I understand it. Look at all those bubbles right there. It's not like there's any form of law enforcement agency that, you know, checks whether you've murdered anything inside your bread starter. And what's that? Oh shit, run, it's the police! Broadly, bit more than that. That much. But now I need to add in the rest of the packet. But I didn't have a packet, I had this tube. Screw it, we'll put in, okay, we'll put in 2 teaspoons. Would have been really nice if they could have not depended on me having particularly 7-gram sachets, but whatever. Now apparently this is going to make a really wet, sloppy dough. So if it's a sloppy mess, that's what the instructions say it's supposed to be. So we're fine. This isn't actually that wet or sloppy. This now just needs to like chill out for 20 minutes to come together due to, I don't know, something. I've no idea whether this is gonna work. That's a bubble? That feels wrong. Okay, is this 60 by 30 centimeters? I don't know. Is it vaguely close? Yes, job done. What this is supposed to be is approximately 81 layers of pastry butter. What this appears to me to be is butter. It's just a slab of butter! Okay, it's all fine. Everything's under control. Okay, the problem is the triangle specified is 6 or 7 triangles with 2 sides of equal length. Now, I went into this thinking, hang on, so you mean a right-angled triangle, right? But no, any type of triangle could have 2 sides of equal length. Well, not any type of triangle, but an isosceles triangle could have 2 sides of equal length. You could have 2, well, they wouldn't be, wait, are they joint hypotenuses? Okay, it's been a while since I did, like, maths. I've just realised that because of the way triangles work, yes, if I just stack the triangles, okay, I could do, like, twice as many as I thought, yes, because triangles. In fact, this was just, okay, this is the worst triangle cutting I've ever seen. This is insane. Okay, I blame the recipe for not just saying cut diagonal lines, you idiots. You see, these ones up here, they're going to be much better sized croissants. I'm not sure we've got the right... Like, surely it would make sense if they'd been, like, isosceles triangles. Then you rolled up, like... Okay, yeah, they should have been isosceles triangles. And also this one's too small, so we're just gonna get rid of that one. They're gonna be the world's smallest croissants. It's gonna be fine. Wait, hang on, no! It turns out I'm a genius. They're supposed to be small. The recipe says we now need to leave them for a bit, because they're just gonna sort of, like, grow by themselves somehow. Wait for a bit, and they'll just, like, do whatever it is they're gonna do. The stuff in this that makes it grow. Alright, it's gonna be fine. So we're just gonna grab it. This is the grossest thing I've ever done. This is horrible. I hate this. How do bakers do this? This is a good workout. Bakers must be flipping fit. I don't know. Also, what's this bit for if we're just gonna fold it into a... Hang on, I'm just gonna double check this. Okay, just come with... Okay. I feel like it's not. It wasn't ready to. It's not. The croissants will be better than this. There you go, that feels drier because I've covered it with a dry powder. If I've done this right, which I haven't, but let's just check this. So now I need to transfer it into a bowl. I don't know how the hell I'm going to do this. More flour. Flour will fix it. Flour will fix everything. So that's a baguette. We got good news and we got bad news. I've got the puppies out of the oven and oh, have they come good. The less good bit is the bread. The bread I put into a bowl as it's specified. However, I didn't use a big enough bowl. So now that's that. We've basically got far too much bread. Which is, rarely a problem in life, but here we go. We're going to bake them like this, and that's going to be fine. And for the glazing, I get to use this here glazing brush, which I own, by which I mean Claire owns, and I'm not banned from using. Yet. Those are now ready to go in the oven for 15 minutes, or until risen and brown and lovely looking. But I'm just going to go for 15 minutes, because it's safer. We could turn our attention to the mess that the baguettes become, because I'm increasingly not convinced that's salvageable. So what there is a series of complicated instructions for taking a cloth on a board and then using it to mould a thing to diddly-dee to... Okay, but all of that assumes not this mess. Basically, the recipe just seems to be going very pretentious in the direction of, hey, make a baguette shape. I've kind of made a pie. I've made a bread pie. I genuinely don't know what to do at this point, because this isn't supposed to be how it's... I don't know what consistency this is. This is really weird. It feels unnatural to me. Like, if you were to reach inside one of those eggs in the Aliens film, they'd feel like this. It just feels wrong and weird, and something's about to jump out and get me. Okay, everything's fine. This is what it's supposed to... Okay, that's what we got. That's what we got to make a baguette with. And we put a groove in the middle, yeah? And then we fold it in on itself, which does nothing. That's completely pointless. It just makes it... Okay, so this is... There we go. Baguette! But the instructions also say I'm supposed to be producing 3 of these things. I've only got 1, but I did use the correct measurable. So I don't know where the rest of this material went. Either I'm using 3 times as much, or a large part of it is still over here on this thing. That's probably true as well. So, you know what? That's it. That's just what we got now. I don't think this is going to fly, but we're going to give it a go. And it's going to be... Oh, God. This is awful. This is fine. We're supposed to, like, cut some slices in it so it looks like a baguette when it's done. I've just created 1 mega croissant, so you're welcome, world. Okay, you have got to admit, that is a nice looking croissant. Now that's looking sexy, mainly because that's one I bought from Marks and Spencer's bakery earlier today. These, however... Oh, fudge! Ow! Phew, ow! Yeah, there's liquid in the bottom of the pan, but I don't know what it is. This is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. There it is. That's the whole pan. That's... I mean, they don't look terrible. Right, so that's the success. Back to Captain Failure.
Did you make a pan croissant?
I have made a pan croissant, yes. I have merged the croissants together and brought Claire in to evaluate this. Look at this!
I mean...
Do they look like vaguely like croissants? I know they're all together, but do they look vaguely like croissants?
Yes.
Yes! If you want to try and pull one off, you're welcome to. Oh, Claire's going for it. So that looks like...
That's got a bit of a flake.
Flake, yeah, it's got a flake. This is Bake of the Week right here.
It's tasty.
Yes! I have succeeded. I have succeeded.
I'm taking this.
Yes, she's taking that. Basically, it's nothing but butter. I've just put butter in the oven and that happens. They're not bad. They are they're a bit soggy. They're a bit soggy. Yeah, they've got flaky layers. They do have flaky layers. So, the lamination I did actually sort of worked. Okay, just remember the croissants. Whatever you're about to see, just remember the croissants. I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't really smell like bread. I mean, in its defense, it hasn't burnt me. Like there's some brown bits around the back. I'm also going to admit, it straight up does not smell like bread. Like, I don't really know what's going on. It's got the same sort of slightly unpleasant, musty, yeasty smell as it did back when it was a mix. So I feel like somewhere along the line, this yeast and this mix and this dough has just gone in a bad direction. Like an Eevee that evolved into Flareon. It's really stuck to the... Fuck me. Okay, oh no, it's proper not coming off. Fuck. Okay, that bit didn't... Just put it back on, it's fine. We can fix it. We can fix it in editing. Okay, moment of truth. We're gonna slice it open. That looks like bread. I mean, it looks incredibly dense, actually. Yeah, that looks insanely dense. Okay, I'm gonna get Claire in here to basically try and evaluate what went wrong. The problem I think we've got is density. I think you'll agree.
Yes.
Would you agree with this? Claire's gonna... Yeah, Claire's looking at this now. Yeah, okay.
That's just not really cooked.
Oh. What, it has double the time it's supposed to? I'm not sure it's ever going to cook.
That's because you looked up the time to cook a baguette and this isn't a baguette.
Wait, what's this then? What is it? This is a baguette. Recipe says baguette at the top.
Yeah, but you make it a baguette by shaping it like a baguette.
It wouldn't fit on the tray.
Yes, they use special trays to cook baguettes.
Like, we don't have one of those. Look, do you want to eat this or not? No, you don't. That's a no. She doesn't. I'm going to cut myself a slice too. Alright, Claire doesn't have to suffer alone. How bad is it?
It's not nice.
Oh, it's awful.
I'm sorry, it's not nice.
Oh, it's awful.
So, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, my video on how to make croissants 101 has been a massive, massive success.